It's 7:30 in the morning at Gare de l'Est in Paris. The Paris-Moscow train is ready for departure. The journey is 38 hours. Vitaly Alexenko gives us a warm welcome.
This is my carriages. Please board in your carriages.
Vitaly is an experienced porter and a consummate professional. Greeting every passenger is part of the boarding ritual. For Vitaly, the Paris-Moscow route is the highlight of his career.
We had more passengers during the winter holidays. Now it's a bit quieter, but I hope the numbers will pick up in the summer again.
The state-owned Russian railway launched the service between Moscow and Paris to great fanfare last year. The service is popular, but mainly with Russian travellers. For Moscow's Francophiles, a visit to Paris holds a special glamour. But so far, the voyage to Moscow isn't quite as enticing. Anna Potemkina is a student, and with her mother, who's afraid of flying, she went to Paris on a shopping trip.
Sales, and we can buy some clothing, shoes, everything that you want. But here it's more cheaper, and it's Paris.
The luxury carriages are popular with Moscow's nouveau riche.
Marina, my wife, we are making business in Russia, and every day we are very busy. From morning to evening, we don't have time for relax.
But luxury comes with a steep price tag, around €1,000 for a round-trip fare. The second-class carriages are more affordable, about €350. Pierre is an engineer. He's the only French passenger on this trip.
I don't like flying, it's very bad for the environment. And I also enjoy the experience of rail travel. 38 hours isn't that long, really.
But even before the journey began, his patience was put to the test. Getting a visa to enter Russia and Belarus is a lengthy process, with long lines and endless application forms.
A lot of people were sent away because they didn't have the right paperwork. A copy of the first page of your passport, for example. There's a ton of paperwork. A holdover from Soviet times, I guess you could say.
The Paris-Moscow line is supposed to help dispel the legacy of the Soviet era and build a new bridge to the EU. But even though some of Russia's neighbours, like Ukraine, have abolished the visa requirement, Russia is holding fast to bureaucratic tradition. And Europe also doesn't seem willing to take the first step. The gulf between Western Europe and Russia is especially apparent as we leave the bounds of the EU. Terespol is just across the Bug River, the doorway to Belarus. We arrive at the border at 6:30 in the morning. There's a chilly silence as the border officials check our entry papers. And there's yet another relic from a bygone age. The passenger cars have to be lifted onto a new undercarriage. To slow down invading armies, the Tsars of old laid their railway tracks 10 centimetres wider than standard ones. A strategy that paid off during the Second World War. Even the machinery recalls days gone by.
All of this looks just the way it did in the Soviet Union. The locomotives and the trains are bigger and more cumbersome. You get the feeling that time has stood still.
Only a few passengers come aboard en route. The Russian passengers don't mingle with the rest. For Vitaly, the chilly atmosphere puts a damper on the experience. It's a point of pride to impress foreign passengers with his hospitality and excellent service. Even the French authorities have shown little enthusiasm for the line. The French State Railway carries out the necessary technical inspections, but apart from that, they keep their distance.
The train attendants only speak Russian. And if you look around, the signs are only in Russian. So for me, this train is more Russian than French.
We arrive at our destination at 1:30 in the morning. Vitaly heads for home on the outskirts of Moscow. Pierre walks to his hostel. He wants to see the Kremlin right away. It's the start of his Russian adventure. The Paris-Moscow route is no ordinary journey. It's a voyage back in time, though with little of the glamour of the Orient Express. But then the city of Moscow holds its own attractions.